Hi there. This is the, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I think it's probably TOSTAR. The company's logo or motto is to be a star. So I think it's TOSTAR. But you also say TOSTAR. Anyway, um, this is a Telecaster style guitar with two humbucking pickups and a three-way selector. And it's intended as a beginner instrument, but it's actually really impressive. I was quite taken by it. It has a lot of depth and it's a really, really good playing guitar. And it comes with a little amplifier, which I'm hiding back here. This is a battery-powered amplifier, and there's a clean and a distorted channel. So I'll play through that really quick, and then I'll go back and I'll play through my line 6, so you can hear just a little bit of different tonal variation. So we'll start in the bridge pickup. Then we'll move into the second position, which is two pickups together on the coils split. And the final position is the neck humbucker. Fun little sound. It's not bad at all, especially for a solid state, tiny little battery powered amp. You can take it anywhere with you, and it's perfect just even to set on a desktop. I can see myself using this all the time, actually. I'll move over to the distorted channel, and I'll bring the volume down a little bit. So not full distortion or anything like that, but still, for a beginner who's just learning power chords and things like that, is perfectly fine. And I tell you the truth, that's better than the first amplifier I had when I was a kid. So this is awesome. You can take it anywhere with you. So I'm just going to turn it off, and I'm going to move it on to the main amplifier. So here you go. This is a little bit more affected. Has some reverb and some chorus on things. But this will give you a better idea of the sound of the instrument and what it can do. Very nice sounding guitar. The pickups are much, much better than I expected them to be. These have a lot of depth. I was expecting kind of tinny sounding pickups, but these are not that at all. I would actually gig with this guitar in a heartbeat. I would have no problem with that at all. I'll move on to a little bit of distortion for you here. Now the bridge pickup is going to be the most suited for distortion, but the other combinations work really well too. The neck pickup isn't quite as compressed or as smooth as I like, but there's nothing at all wrong with it. I'm actually quite pleased with it. So I'm just going to be a few examples here, and hopefully you'll be able to get an idea of what it sounds like and if it's suitable for you. I think that sounds great, and I can play. It's the way it's designed with the matte finish and the sort of, I think they call it blood actually, um, sort of red pickguard. It reminds me a lot of like a Jim Root guitar from Slipknot, and this can really pull that sort of sound as well. Put on a really distorted setting. And you can hear it pulls it off pretty well. Yeah, and I'm going to go back to the other setting for a second here. This is it cleans up pretty well too. It has a nice palette of tones. When you back off the volume just a little bit instead of being full, you can hear it soften a little bit. So you have that nice ability to go from roll back, more quiet sound, and then bring in the distortion, which is really nice to be able to do. Insofar as playability, the neck is great. Really, really like this. The fretwork's lovely. There's some of the frets could use a little bit of a polish, but in this price range, that's perfectly excusable. I have no issues with that whatsoever. There is not a sharp fret along the neck at all. Very comfortable to play. The neck itself has a very nice carve. Um, Very, very suited to pretty much any style. It reminds me like a Fender style um, sort of neck carve C shape. Um, the only thing, and this is common to all Telecasters, the neck access, or pardon me, the fret access for your fingers at the high end is a little bit curtailed because of that, the cut of the neck, but that's common to every Telecaster style. So that's nothing to do with this guitar in particular. It ships with really quite decent strings. These strings feel great. Tuned down a half step, and they're plenty of bend to them. I think they're nines, but they could be eights. I'm not really sure. They feel more like nines, but they feel great. I can really say nothing bad about this guitar at all. Very, very pleased with it. Um, yeah, well, if there's any one small complaint, it's the matte finish. If you get any sweat on it, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb. I had to wipe this down 2 or 3 times just when I was doing just when I was warming up for the video. Um, but that's an extremely minor complaint. I think everything about this guitar just screams yes to me. Like I said, I would gig with this in a heartbeat. Very, very solid guitar, stays in tune well. Really very detailed pickups for the price range. There's nothing not to love about this. I'm really, really impressed with what they've been able to do, especially with the entire pack that they include for just $269. I'm extremely impressed with that. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful to you, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks very much.
This is my review of the TOSTAR electric guitar. So you can see that it's basically a kind of a Telecaster knockoff. It's got kind of the same shape of the body, same sort of pickguard. It's got the bridge here. And I saw one picture in an ad that had a whammy bar. And of course, there's no place for a whammy bar here. It's got the double humbuckers for front and back, and of course the classic 3-way switch, so you can pick one or the other or both. and then tone and volume. So pretty standard setup. I think the body is poplar, the neck is maple, and then the fretboard is purple heartwood, and that's pretty cool. I've never actually played a guitar that has had that before. And you'll see it looks like they've uh, dyed it, because it doesn't look purple at all. It looks just as black as the rest of the guitar. And if you look on the side, you can't really see any sort of differentiation between the fretboard and the neck. It's all kind of the same color. Oh, and now that we're looking at it, it's got a few dots in here, and these will actually glow in the dark, but it's got to be pretty dark. So I did try it out, but if you're in a complete black room, you can see it if you've charged them up. But it's kind of a gimmick. I don't think I'd actually really use that since it has to be so dark. Overall, I found it pretty good to play. It feels just like my Fender sort of Telecaster in terms of playability, and the sound's a little bit different. Of course, with the dual humbuckers, my Tele has just a single coil all the way through. The frets was actually pretty good. So like the fretwork it's nicely rounded. A lot of the cheaper guitars I've played have like really jagged edges, but this is actually surprisingly good, and it's like really rounded on the end. The frets are raised pretty high. I think it's pretty standard. It's kind of similar to some of my other guitars. My son does like to have lower frets. I have one guitar that's super low that he likes, but so it just depends on your preference. In terms of accessories, it comes with the patch cable with one end with the 90-degree bend. Seems to work fine. It's pretty entry level overall, not super high gauge or anything like that, but it works. And it comes with a capo again. It's kind of entry level, but I mean it works perfectly fine. And it looks like it's got like a kind of a puller on the end for acoustic guitars. So I won't use that for this one, but maybe for some of my acoustics. Pretty standard tuner. I didn't have any problems tuning it, and you can see that it'll work with anything. So you can cycle through like bass, ukulele, violin, and then you can just kind of put it on auto, so you can use it for anything. And then of course guitar. So just single button, and then you just kind of like hold it on down to turn it off. But yeah, it works well enough. It comes with a little hex wrench, so you can adjust the truss rod. And the truss rod doesn't have any sort of cover on it or anything like that, so you can just access it directly. And it also comes with a mini hex here, and then you can use this to like adjust the string action, so you can get the strings just the right height that you like. Comes with a bunch of picks, and it comes with some replacement strings. I guess in a lot of reviews, people complain about the strings. That might be one of the things that you want to upgrade. They're just fairly entry level. Comes with a guitar strap. It feels like really entry level. The quality is kind of cheap. It's pretty lightweight, but it's still a nice thing to have. It'll work, and then you can always just buy yourself something better. But it's not something that you're probably going to get a ton of use out of. The case is actually pretty decent. So there is a thin bit of padding. It's kind of hard to see. It's maybe like a quarter of an inch or so on the top and the bottom, which is nice. It's just not, the material only. And then there's like a little zippered area, so you can put like your patch cable or picks or whatever in there. And then of course the inside and the back, it is kind of a backpack style, so you can adjust the two straps to carry it. And this is kind of a nice touch. It has like a hard bottom, so it won't wear out like the bottom of the case, and it's even got some like grips on there as well. And lastly, we have the amp. I had pretty low expectations. I've seen some pretty like crappy included amps, but this one is actually fairly decent. It's not as good as like some of the other ones, but I mean, you kind of get what you pay for. I was surprised for the price, how good it was. On the back here, it's powered by a battery, so you have to charge it using this USB-C. So that's actually really nice. So you can just take it anywhere, but it doesn't come with a USB-C charger. You'll have to supply that yourself. It's got the on-off. It's got a headphone jack, so you can practice in silence. And then you can Bluetooth it, which is pretty cool, to your phone. So you can play some music or something to play along with it. I haven't tried that out. And then in terms of controls. It's got like the overdrive tone and like the drive volume. It doesn't have like reverb or anything else like that, but still, it does sound fairly decent. I was kind of impressed with it for the size, and given the kit's like under $300. And then it's got some rubber feet on the bottom to keep it sliding around. Although, I mean, I'm guessing this might be, along with the strings, one of the first things you replace if you want to get sort of more sound out of it. But overall, like I thought it was fairly decent. And it also comes with a stand, and it's all sort of felt lined all the way around. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. And the neat thing about it is it's two pieces. I don't know if I do this with one hand, but it just kind of like pulls apart like this. And because of that, you can actually like bring it with you. It's really compact. You just put the two pieces together, and you can kind of like take it on the road. And if you don't mind it sticking out of your bag a little bit, it'll actually even fit inside of the pocket, and you can kind of like zip the top of it up. So that's also kind of a neat feature. I like it, and it actually works pretty well. So overall, for all of the different things that you get and accessories for under $300, I think it's a really good deal, and it wouldn't be worth it at all if the guitar sounded lousy. But personally, I was really happy with the sound. I thought it sounded great, and I found like again, frets were really good. The attenuation was good. Like I was pretty happy with the overall sound and playability.
爱你的情绪和你亲手戴上的面具，拉扯得很痛吧，我懂你，假装不怕笑的暴力。